We have a very, very special treat here today because we're actually very much broadening our scope here around the world. And we have Daniel Zhang here, who is the CEO of the Alibaba Group. They have a mission to make it easy to do business anywhere. They started this business 17 years ago. And what they do is they have this amazing technology infrastructure and marketing machine that reaches and enables businesses to transform the way they market, sell, and operate and connect with consumers. It is a huge business. And many of us have been to the Alibaba headquarters and had the privilege of being able to spend a little bit of time with Daniel and his team. And I'll tell you, you see the future when you go to Alibaba. And today we're very honored to have Daniel Zhang here. In fact, he is the key architect of Alibaba's signature annual Double 11 event. So as you all know, and we all count on, that is a big event for us to be able to grow our brands. So please welcome Daniel Zhang. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So thank you, Mark. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to come to Cincinnati and attend the Signal Conference. I'm really excited to be here and to share with you what happened in China and what Alibaba did in the past 17 years in this fast-changing world. So let me start by share with you the landscape, internet landscape in China. In 1999, China entered into the internet world. And since then, actually, internet population in China grew dramatically. Of course, we have a very big advantage in China, which is we have the largest population in the world. So today, you can see that today nearly 700 million people now are internet users. But most important thing is that in recent years, we experienced a very rapid mobile transition. In China, over this 700 million internet users, actually most of them, actually nearly 90% of them are mobile internet users. They get access to internet via smartphones, which give business a good opportunity to reach the customer anytime, anywhere, and to serve them based on their personalization. So with the growth of the internet population and with the growth of the internet evolution, Alibaba built our business following our mission, which is make it easier to do business anywhere. We started our first business in 1999, which is a B2B business. We help the Chinese SMEs to find the trading opportunities in other countries. And in 2003, we started our Taobao business, which people well know as a C2C or small B2C marketplaces. In 2008, we start our Tmall platform, which is a B2C brand-driven, brand-direct operated marketplaces to enable brand to reach the customers directly. And in recent years, we continue to innovate our business models and create a new business to help, again, the business to do easier over the world. So that's why we have our flash sales model in 2010, and recent years, actually, we developed very rapidly the cross-border business, which is to help the overseas products into China using the cross-border model, and also to leverage the Chinese largest manufacturing base to help the Chinese SME not only to wholesale to other markets, but also to reach the end customers in other markets via direct sales. So that's the first business of Alibaba, which is the B2B. But behind it, actually, which the theme is that we try to leverage the power of internet to make people meet together. So the biggest advantage of internet, everybody knows, is transparency. Everything on internet is trackable. Buyer and seller can meet on internet in the most efficient way. So we take the first advantage of PC internet in 1999 and developed this B2B business. You can see from the screenshot that every day, actually, we have millions of customers. They are negotiating online and try to find trading opportunities. And we start with our international wholesale platform, Alibaba.com, but very soon we roll out to domestic because we believe that China also, domestic trading also the same problem. And we try to help the traders to find trading opportunities in both international and domestic trading, wholesale trading platform. But the value we create in this business is, again, it's very simple and straightforward because we believe that to find, make connection is a pain point of the people without internet. So now internet comes, let's try to address this issue, use the simplest way, which is make connections between buyer and sellers. Then, in 2003, when we created Taobao and in following years created Tmall, actually the thing we think about is that actually we can do far more than meet at Alibaba. And we can help people not only to meet, but also to transact, to trade at Alibaba. So that's why we create our Taobao and Tmall. People today often benchmark Taobao with eBay in the US, to benchmark Tmall with Amazon in the US. But actually, we are a totally different animal. For Taobao, actually, we are not only a marketplace, and we are not actually is an auction-based and the C2C model. Taobao actually is a mass market to have the lowest entry barrier for individuals and small business to start their operation, to create their own business. So today, actually, we have over 8 million small merchants doing business on our Taobao platform. And every day, we have hundreds of millions of visitors coming to our Taobao site. And the thing we excite us is that we experience a very good mobile transition. And today, on our retail platform, including Taobao and Tmall, today, over 80% of our traffic are from mobile, and over 70% of our transactions are mobile. So pretty much, we are now a largest mobile commerce company in the world. And for Taobao, actually, this is not only for people to buy according to the specific shopping purpose. Actually, people come to Taobao, like ladies will go to the shopping mall, go to on the street to do window shopping. We always said that the difference between Taobao and Tmall is that we want Taobao to help people to kill the time. And it's just an entertainment. We view Taobao as an entertainment marketplace because shopping is experience. Shopping not necessary for specific purpose. And for Tmall, actually, we want Tmall could be an efficient platform to enable people to save the time. And from merchant perspective, our Tmall business is that we try to build a platform to enable our brand partners to get access to reach the end customers directly. Not like the traditional retailer or today a lot of e-tailer doing, which is just replicate the offline model to online, which is stand between brand partner and supplier and customers, and do the distribution and do the resale. But we want to lie down to enable the direct connection between suppliers and end customers. So that's why we always said on our Tmall platform, we try to give our brand partners 5 value propositions. Who are they? The first one, of course, sales. As we said that how to evaluate the result of innovation is all about growth. So sales represent growth. Sales always, actually, everybody cares about the sales opportunity, cares about the power of sales. So Alibaba, with hundreds of millions of people around us every day, we can enable our brand partner to achieve sales, bigger sales. So that is very fundamental. But on top of that, we want to build our platform to be a brand building platform, to enable our partner not only to sell better, but also to build a brand using the digital way. Because on our platform, every single behavior of the shoppers are trackable. And we get huge data of these consumer insights. We know who are they, and we know their home address. We know what they bought, and we even know how old are their kids based on their shopping behavior. So how can we leverage the data we have to enable the brand, first to do the brand building, second is to do the customer engagement and management. Actually, this is a very interesting topic. Actually, this is very relevant to today's theme and how to raise the bar and to connect with people more efficiently. So the next one, I think is also very important. It's also about the growth, which is how to expand the market. And today, Alibaba not only as a platform in China, Alibaba today, actually, we have footprints in Southeast Asia, we have footprints in Russia, in many other countries. The recent development is that we just acquired the #1 e-commerce site called Lazada, headquarters in Singapore, which covers 6 countries in Southeast Asia. They are #1 in these 6 countries, and the total population of these 6 countries is about 560 million people. So how to leverage this user base in that area and how to leverage this opportunity to get access to the new market, I think we want to help our brand partner to expand the channel and the channel opportunity and to capture the growing opportunities in other markets. Actually, China may be one of the most advanced e-commerce market in the world, but we can see the landscape in other markets like in Indonesia, in India, in Russia. Actually, their retail actually even more sophisticated, and they may be 5-10 years behind China. But they have younger generation. The most important thing is that for a lot of countries, they experience very good mobile transition. So how to capture these opportunities is a very good question and a very good point for further collaboration. And the last one, I think, in future, that will be getting more and more important is via this platform, not only to leverage the power of internet to make more sales, to operate the consumers more efficiently. On top of that, what we can do is to have internet, have the data to influence the supply side. Today, when we talk about the digital transformation, most of people talk about the opportunity in the sales side, how to create the demand, how to understand customers more effectively. But we believe the future of e-commerce is not C2C, not B2C, actually C2B, it's consumer to business. So how to use the data to help the consumers' insight to change the supply chain, to change the product design, to change the process of product manufacturing. So that's the opportunity we want to bring to our brand partners. So here, again, I share with you that for our retail platform, including Taobao and Tmall, actually we are far more than a marketplaces. People come here not only do search, not only do search by listings and by navigations, people can share and people can chat in the community, people can tweet, and people even can do live streaming. So that's actually a lot of social activities we create on our mobile app. And so by this way, actually we give people spend more time on our mobile app. I can share with you a very important number. Actually, Alibaba, we are very excited about this, is that every day, actually we have 150 million people visiting our mobile app. The DAU is 150 million. But that's not most important. The most important thing is every single visitor, they spend averagely more than 20 minutes on our mobile app. So that means this is not just a shopping site, a shopping app. It's more like a community. It's a social commerce community. So now let me share with you a couple of cases in terms of innovation. One of the best examples of innovation is November 11. But actually, I, together with my team, and create this November 11 in 2009. People always ask me that how did you create this idea, and how to do this innovation? My response is very directly. I said, we never think that November 11 could be that big. We started to do this 7 years ago, just because of survival. Because at that time, we just created our Tmall business, a new B2C business. But then our Taobao business already very big and very famous. Everybody can recognize the brand of Taobao, but nobody can distinguish Tmall and Taobao. So how to make people recognize our new brand? So one day I talked with my team, said, in the US, they have Black Friday. To be frank, at that time, no Cyber Monday, only Black Friday. Okay, so if they can have a Black Friday, let's have a day for ourselves. So make people remember us. So that's the original of November 11. Then we start to talk about how to select a day. And finally, we believe that November is a good time slot for us to have a big event. Why? Because in the retail world and in China, Q4 always a peak season. And there are two peak points in Q4. First one is the national holiday, Chinese national holiday, starting from August 1st to October 1st to October 7th. Then the second one you can imagine, Christmas season. But November actually is empty. But the weather in November changed dramatically in China and getting to winter. So people need to buy a lot of stuff because of the weather change. So we think the demand is there, but the retail world is empty. And people need a big campaign. So that's why we select November. And 11, just occasion results. Because we cannot find a good festival in China which good for the day. Then we did a lot of research, and finally we found a Singles Day. That was the first time I heard about Singles Day. Okay, I kind of kidding with my team, said, okay, if people are single, people should be alone on that day. Let's find some fun for them and have them shopping online. So after 7 years practice, actually today, November 11th became the world's largest shopping festival and consumer day. And last year, actually, the result is $14.3 billion per day. And $14.3 billion represent actually about 470 million packages generated a day. It represent the peak volume about 140,000 orders per second. This occurred in the midnight. You can imagine what happened in Black Friday, and people waiting outside of a shopping mall, and when doors open, people rush in and buy. And online, same situation. People put a lot of favorite products in a shopping cart. When we start our campaign at midnight, people just click and buy. So that's why we have such a peak in the midnight. And that's why technology behind this is so important to help the event can be smoothly operated. So actually, last year, and we upgrade our November 11 to position as a global shopping day. And we are very happy to have consumers around more than 230 countries to join this campaign. Why is that? Because we have our AliExpress, which is a cross-border export platform. And people from all of these countries, they can participate in the event and the shopping. Because this experience is seamless. This experience is flawless. All the people love to have this big shopping day over the world. So next example I want to share with you is how to do the innovation continuously. So when we see the big success of November 11, then we think about the question, which is, okay, November 11, we have all our brand partners together to celebrate the day and give a lot of favorite treatment to our customers. So this is a day for all of us. But for every single brand, they need their own day. So that's why we start thinking about how to create a super brand day for our brand partner. Means for every brand, we give them the option to select one day over the year, because every brand have your special day, either anniversary or the launch of the new products or others. So give the flexibility, and people can select one day for themselves. But this day is not only the day for the brand to sell products. This is a day for the brand to create the events, online and offline, to build a brand, to engage new customers, and to do a lot of interaction with their friends. So actually, so far, we have worked with over 60 brands in this Super Brand Day, including P&G, and we do a lot of interaction with the clients, and of course, sales is always a measurement of the innovation, and we create a lot of new sales opportunity and for our brand partners. And more importantly, and via this kind of events, brands can get a lot of new customers, new friends, and this is very important for the future business. So this is another example I want to share with you. It's live streaming. I'm sure people heard about Mark Zuckerberg launch their live streaming and have astronauts do the live streaming. We did that long before that. But we did not do that purely for entertainment, for social. We incorporate this live streaming with commerce. This is one of the examples, and we have a brand partner, Maybelline, from the L'Oreal Group. Actually, every beauty brand they have, like you, have your celebrity spokesman. And we have Angelababy, who is the China Kim Kardashian. So we work with Maybelline to have the Angelababy to do the live streaming to promote their new product launch, the lip gloss. So fans can interact with the stars and, of course, generate a lot of opportunities for sales. So over 2 hours, we sell over 10,000 lip gloss, which is a new product. People never experienced that. But because of the fans and the interaction, and create a lot of not only the sales opportunity, but also a lot of viewers. You can see that over 5 million of viewers, actually, they enter into the live streaming, and they get a real sense of the new products. So when we finish all of these examples and cases, but let's look at the Alibaba big picture. And as I said, we always create new business models, disruptive models, following our mission, make it easy to do business anywhere. But the heart of our business actually is not all of the business case. What I show you just now, actually, at the right top, at the central top of the boxes, which is called commerce. But over time, now actually we are experiencing another cycle, which is leverage the power of internet to upgrade the lifestyle of people. So that's why we enter into the box at the left top side, which is the digital contents. And so today we have our Alibaba picture and co-invest, for example, in Mission Impossible 6. And we have our YouTube, and which is one of the leading video sites in China, Youku. And we also have our Ali Music, sports, and our OTT business. Actually, we are the largest OTT company in China. And on the other side, actually, we try to expand to new categories like local services. For example, food delivery, for example, travel, and for example, the ticket business. So by doing this, actually, we try to create a lot of use case and try to leverage the power of internet to give people different lifestyle. But in substance, we are not a service company. In substance, we are a company to use the data to empower all of the partners in these use cases. So in other words, we can view these use cases as a situation to create the data, to generate data. But our model is to use the data generated from all of these use cases to refuel the operation, not only for our own, but also for all the participants in the ecosystem. So that if I can use one sentence to describe Alibaba model, actually it's a data cycle model. Use case creation, and data create, and refill, and get business growth, and ecosystem growth. So that's all about Alibaba. That's all about how to help people to make it easier to do business anywhere. So finally, actually, I want to share with you the latest development of our integration of our core commerce business and our digital business. As I said, we move very quickly to the new category, like movie, like video, like gaming, like music, sports, etc. But the most important thing today, actually for Alibaba, is to unify the ID between the retail platform and the media platform. By this way, I think for every single marketers, they can recognize their audience cross platforms, and they can do advertisement on Chinese YouTube, but we can retarget them on our retail platform. And we have a lot of experiment, and result is very encouraging. The high conversion rate to this if we do this kind of retargeting. So maybe we are the only company to have such a big retail portfolio and the media portfolio. So that's created a lot of synergies, and not only for ourselves, but also for our brand partners, because in the digital world, marketing, branding, and the sales could be achieved seamlessly. So that's the model we are working on. So before I conclude my speech, actually, I just want to share with you a very interesting findings early this morning. I was told by P&G friend that next year you will celebrate your 180 years anniversary. And next year, Alibaba will celebrate our 18 years anniversary. But I think no matter 180 years or 18 years, both of us actually need to raise our bar. Both of us need to continue to innovate, to capture the opportunity in the disruptive world, in the fast-changing world. Let's try to do this, make it happen. Thank you.
So we're gonna talk for a few minutes, but this is where you guys get involved, because we have, I mean, Daniel's been very generous with his time. Not only did he prepare a presentation, he's going to endure my questions and then yours. I mean, you can't ask someone like Daniel Zhang to come over and not use as much of his time as we possibly can. So thank you for being generous with it. One of the main reasons that we were so eager to have you here was to really dig into a market that for many of us is something of a mystery, and your presentation kind of gave a lot of jaw-dropping numbers. My wife's born on 11/11, and so she loves the fact that it's like the national singles holiday where you go shopping, and she's actually started, so it's my birthday, I'm just going to go shopping too. So it's starting to spread. I'm curious, what other trends in China and Asia are coming? What I don't think a lot of us saw how quickly the entire market moved to mobile, for example. Your first slide was pretty astonishing. What else do you see on the horizon?
I think in China, I think the most important trend today is all about the consumption upgrading. So before, actually, China experienced we call the reform and opening for 30 years. Mm-hmm. And but 30 years ago, China's lack of a lot of consumer products. But actually, in terms of physical needs, actually today we have enough supply. But now, actually, with the growing number of middle-class families, I would expect this number will double in the next 5 years. And I think
the number of middle-class families
yes.
That's on a base of how large?
Actually, this is based on, I think we can expect that the middle-class family will reach maybe 500 millions. Yeah, middle-class families in
almost twice the adult population of the United States.
So that's why I'm saying that we have the huge advantage in terms of the user base, because the population. But all these middle-class family, they are experiencing a lifestyle change. So it's not all about just the supply, demand. It's all about how to change the lifestyle. So that's why we think that we have to enter into the digital business, the digital content business, enter into the local business, local service business. But from the consumer product brand perspective, I think how to innovate in the products and how to introduce more brands and more good products to China market. And just now, when I heard about Mark's presentation, And I asked that how many brands we have in P&G big family. And I understand that today most of them still not in China, maybe only part of them in China. And also we need a good product, a high quality product. So that's why cross-border, especially cross-border import, now is very, very popular in China. And people, especially young moms, they love to buy the diapers from highly recognized brands. And they want to get a milk powder from highly recognized suppliers overseas. And so people this is just a result of lifestyle change.
I mean, the number of businesses in Alibaba are staggering. The different, and I like how you unified it with this idea of being a data business. But how do you allow for innovation? You're a company that's a tenth as old as Procter & Gamble, but still 18 years is a long time in the internet business. How do you continue to innovate and identify opportunities and move quickly?
Yeah, we always believe that innovation is not about top-down, it's bottom-up. So that's why we always leave some space and flexibility to our staff, to our engineers, and to young generation to test their new ideas. I can share with you that every day in our search team, we have a lot of algorithm in testing. We just assign a small basket to give them a small basket of traffic to them for testing. And people always ask me, okay, Daniel, how do you ensure the effectiveness of this testing? I would say that I cannot ensure, because maybe 95% of them will fail. But if we can get the real good results for one of them, and it's a huge progress. So most important thing I think for innovation is that we can afford to some fail. So that's the most important thing. And nobody can do things right and according to so-called what MBA said. MBA book just the summary of the successful business. But we always said try to learn some failure from the real business. So I think this is most important. And second is that actually to give people, to allow people to speak in different way. So it's a straight talk. I understand David and share the view of the straight talk. I think we share the same view and how to enable people to express different opinion.
Right.
And have different, in our internal meeting, we have a lot of arguments, debates, and fightings, but it's all right. And finally, I think it's about efficiency. And a lot of people say, okay, Daniel, in your organization, you have, for example, recent conversation that everybody understands AI is very important in the future. And we have a couple of teams working on AI from different perspectives. People say, okay, Daniel, why not you consolidate them? And you have stronger force. I said, why not keep it as it is? Then we have A, B, C choice. And if no comparison, we don't know which one is better and which one is worse, right? So we can keep it work. And it's in Alibaba, we are not only try to create an ecosystem for the business. Actually, internally, we are also an ecosystem. We allow different animals and different business to exist and try. Then finally, we can pick the win, and we will get a big win.
Yeah. With that AI, the artificial intelligence work you're doing, I imagine you have some pretty significant data sets to train your machine learning.
Sure. Sure. Actually, with huge data, I think there's a big advantage in AI, in new technology.
Yeah. You mentioned in your presentation the brand partners, and it sounds like that's a relatively new and high growth business for you. How do brand partners work with you? What's the best approach? You've got lots of brands in the audience today.
Well, I think it's actually this is all about the understanding of the business. Actually, we are not an e-tailer. We are not doing that. We wholesale from you and resell to the customers. So this model is relatively complicated compared to the e-tail model. Because with doing business with e-tailer, it's very straightforward. You have one staff, and you can get a purchase agreement. People send order to you. You deliver the product to them. That's easy. But our platform is not only for sales. As I said, it's for brand building, for customer engagement, and for channel expansion, and even for product innovation. So how to leverage the entire platform, how to leverage the data we have to empower the whole business of our brand partner. We are not only talking about the online sales of our brand partner. Our thinking is how to use the data we have, use the platform we have to enable the entire digital transformation of our brand for the whole business. Mm-hmm. And last year, actually, for our retail platform, our GMV for the first time actually exceeds 3 trillion RMB, which close to $500 billion. But this 3 trillion, yes, this is a very big achievement, a very big milestone in our company. But I always said that, okay, compare this 3 trillion with 30 trillion for the total retail in China, still 1/10. Today, all of the remaining 27 trillion need to be digitalized. And in the future, actually, e-commerce, commerce, same thing. We cannot separately view this as a different business. So how to leverage this to upgrade the entire business? Actually, this is consistent with today's theme, raise the bar.
Yeah. Where do you think, how long will it be before you cross the 1 trillion US if you're at $500 billion now?
Yeah, actually, we have very clear goal. We have short-term goal and long-term goal. And we want to achieve $1 trillion US by fiscal year 2020. And in 3-4 years, we want to achieve this 1 trillion. And we are confident to do so. And we have even bigger goal, which is in 20 years, we want to be a company to serve the consumer, to serve 2 billion consumers over the world. And today in China, and including our Alibaba Group and Finance, which is our affiliate company, and the payment solution and the microfinance company, we can cover actually about 800 million people in China. But we think we can do a lot more when we go globalized.
Yeah. Well, that leads me directly to the next question I was going to ask. You acquired Lazada, and you mentioned those emerging markets. Obviously, you're a company that makes acquisitions.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the Lazada acquisition, why you did it, and then if you might, any other ideas where you might be heading around the world to look for user growth?
Well, as I said, actually, our long-term goal is to serve 2 billion people. So of course, actually, we start with the easiest one, which is the market closer enough to China, and there are actually a lot of Chinese population. So that's why we view that Southeast Asia actually a very important area for us to explore. And the Lazada is a good pick because they already built up the mind share, the mindset in the local market, and this will save a lot of times and to penetrate this market. And the other thing very important is that they are actually day one they did the business, start business with first party business. But if only first party, I won't acquire this company. Pretty soon they realize that first party is not sustainable. So very quickly they move to third party business. Now they pretty much in third party business, and then we have a lot of synergies. We have a lot of know-how we can share with them, not only from the business perspective, but also from technology perspective. So that's how we look at the opportunity in Lazada. And on top of this, I think, of course, globalization cannot be achieved overnight. So Alibaba is always a company like we always think crazily, but we execute very solidly. So we have to make sure that we can generate the synergies as we expect in Lazada, in the Southeast Asia market. Then, of course, we will still keep eye on other markets. Actually, today we have pretty good performance in some of the markets like Russia. And via our cross-border export business, AliExpress, we are now the #1 e-commerce site in Russia and the #2 in Brazil. And we did a very good job in Spain and in some of European countries. So that's, I think, it's a very good foundation for us to extend our footprint in the global market.
You think in 20 years chunks, which I think is pretty awesome for a company that's 18 years old. It's not something a lot of companies do here in the United States. But if I can ask before, and you guys get ready for questions, and don't let us down, because we want you guys to ask some questions here, so get ready. Do you see in 20 years from now that Alibaba has a robust operation in the United States?
Well, people always ask me this question: how about United States? I would say United States is a very important market, and a very advanced market in the world, and it's also very important to Alibaba. But I think what we want to do is that we want to leverage the resources in the United States. For example, the good products, good business partners, and help them to go to other markets, rather than just jump into this market and to serve the consumers directly. Because we should understand the market before we enter into it. Yeah. So that's the philosophy we have.
A partnership.
Yeah.
Smart. All right, let's start here. We have 3 mic runners around the room, so just raise your hand and I'll see that. And the brave woman in the middle over there is first.
Not so brave. I liked hearing you talk about innovation and how it often comes from the bottom up. And there are a lot of failures, and those obviously teach you a lot of lessons. So it would be great to hear about some of the 1 or 2 great lessons you've learned through those failures.
Okay. Let me share with you a good example occurred in recent years, which is the social chatting. Okay, so people know about the WeChat, right? And in China, WeChat is very popular. So when we went actually about 3 years ago, and we said, okay, we should have our own WeChat, social chatting. So we invest heavily and to mobilize the team, get a lot of talent people into a delegate team. But finally, it proves that top-down innovation doesn't work. But the interesting story is after that. Because that it doesn't work and people move their iBox aside. But our staff working in this social chatting business, actually they're still there. And some of them, they doing a new thing, but try to leverage the lessons, experience they get from the old one. They start a new one, actually today called Ding Talk. This one also a social chatting, but it's social chatting for work. For example, the function of this is that people send message to friends, but you don't have to add friends. But in a company, if you incorporate your name list and contact list into the mobile app, then people can chat with any colleagues and do not have to add friends. And the amazing thing is that the people send message who can see the status of the message, whether it be read or not. So this is very good for work. It's very, very good for work for managers, for bosses, right? You assign a task and to the team, and you can see that this is how quickly my team respond.
Right.
For email, a lot of people just read and they don't respond quickly. But while this machine and no way to hide. So this is good for job. And also,
do you use it in your?
Yes, yes, I use it every day.
I'm guessing people respond to you.
Yeah, but this is not only good for the managers, but also good for staff, because if you work multi-location, if you work on multi-projects, it's very efficient for people to chat seamlessly. So actually, back to the point, your point. Actually, the innovation first is no one can guarantee every single innovation is successful. Second, we cannot just leave it aside and okay, this failed, it just failed. We should learn some lessons from this. And young people, that actually younger generation, they do the real job. They get the real experience and why they failed and why they success. So give them some space and try new things. Even they get some failure for the first time, but they won't fall for the next time, and they can get a new win.
So this product, how many people use this product now that you just?
Today, actually, millions of people in China and use this product. Today we have tens of thousands of enterprises.
Enterprises, yeah.
And because we don't look at the DAU of this,
Right.
because this is for work. So we focus on how many enterprises and
Right.
incorporate their name list and contact list
Yeah.
into the app.
Smart, smart. Next question over here.
Hi, you talked about the consumption upgrade, which we obviously see as well. At the same time, we see the negative impact of that in the pollution and the environmental impact that, unfortunately, Asia is suffering significantly from. I'm curious if you see that as a social responsibility, and if so, if that's something we could partner with you on.
Sure. This is a very important question. Actually, for Alibaba, today we don't view ourselves as just a business company. We viewed ourselves as a company with huge social responsibility. And we're always trying to achieve social responsibility, to fulfill the social responsibility, not by donation, but by creating real business and create real value and to the society. For example, today, actually, you can see that our model, our retail platform model, actually is a platform model. We don't own our logistic, and we partner with a lot of logistics companies and delivery companies every day, and we have tens of millions of packages around on the street. All of them are done by the third-party logistics company. So actually, we help them to create a lot of job opportunities. And our statistics is that we create over 15 million direct job opportunities through the platform. And also, today what we are doing is we closely work with these partners to upgrade the packaging, because the packaging is maybe today is a very big problem for pollution. Mm-hmm. And the plastic bags and paper the package, and people get very good experience for online shopping. But when they get the product, they will throw away the boxes. But how to recycle this? So this is actually the things we do from real business. But on top of that, actually Alibaba, starting from 2010, we decided every year, actually we assign 0.3% of our total revenue, and to a pool which is for protection of the environment, and for protection to deal with the air pollution, etc. Mm-hmm. We have a dedicated team and tens of people that are working on various projects with the people living in the rural areas, with the people in the air pollution areas. And today we not only focus on air, we focus on water. Yeah. Because we believe water with even serious problem in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the question. I just want to make sure I get every section before down here.
I'm personally very impressed by the actions that Alibaba is expanding territories into media and the search engines and entertainment and the lifestyles beyond shopping. As a person also who's been working in China, we also recently confirmed that people are searching more information in Taobao than Baidu or Weibo, which is very impressive. How do you see the dynamics will be evolved in next 5 years in these kind of circumstances? And then what are the edges and strengths of Alibaba in this new competition versus and then the other search and media engines? And then to raise the bar to the next stage.
It's a very good question. I joined Alibaba 9 years ago. And right after I joined Alibaba, actually Jack and together with the management team then, and we made a very important decision, actually, which is we blocked the query, search query from Baidu, from search engine. So then, actually, we try to build our mind share among consumers. So a lot of companies, they talk about the market share. Market share, we believe, is very important, but market share is just an outcome. Because of having the mind share, then you can get the market share. So how to build up the brand, how to build a brand as the first shopping entrance for the consumers in China. So that's the way we continue to doing so for many years. So that's why today, and Chinese people, their behavior, unlike US, is that in US, people go to Google, search first, then direct to a shopping destination. Some to Amazon, some to eBay, some to other shopping sites. But in China, Chinese people behavior is that they go to Taobao first and they search because we have enough listings on our site. Actually, we are the largest shopping search in the world. So people come here first and search, then get the results and direct them to the storefront, either the C2C individual store or the brand store in our Tmall. So that's the difference. But today, I think things change very dramatically. Today, what we see is that we try everything we can to reduce the contribution from search because of the mobile. Actually, whether you will or not will, actually mobile is decentralized. So today, the key thing is how to leverage the power of data to give people the personalization experience, so tailor-made experience. So today, for example, our mobile app, actually, the search result is tailor-made. The recommendation is tailor-made. The live streaming is tailor-made. So everything is tailor-made, it's personalized by the individuals. So I think that's very important trend and in the mobile world. Second is that today, actually, commerce is highly leveraged with entertainment. As I introduced just now, last year in November 11, for the first time, we introduced we have our gala party right before this November 11, just like a Super Bowl event. We need a big show. This is a festival. This is not only for shopping. This is for entertainment. So today, why we have these live streaming, why we have all of these, not only the celebrities, but also a lot of opinion leaders, talent people. They can, on our platform, to tell people, for example, the ladies can show people how to cook the food in the kitchen. Because it's very difficult to sell the raw materials or food online. People see why I buy this rice, for example. Chinese people like rice, right? But it's difficult to make a decision based on the picture.
Right.
But it does make sense that people see, okay, you can cook the rice very good. Then I should try myself. Right. So you buy this. Yeah. So this is all about the content generation. It's all about the community. Right. So how to create a community and reduce the portion of the search. Search just address one purpose with very clear intention.
Mm-hmm. Last question. Just want to make sure I get anybody who might want to be over here. Okay, it's already in the back, middle, rather right in the middle. She's had her hand up for quite a while.
Hi, thanks a lot. I wanted to ask you about the Singles Day. You mentioned that you have 140 million purchases in a single moment. How do you prepare on that from an IT standpoint, and what IT infrastructure do you have?
Well, actually, we prepare actually, every year we view this from technical perspective. We view this not as a festival. We view this as a big examination of our tech infrastructure. And this also gives us, every year, create a higher standard for our tech people for them to achieve that. So for example, starting from now, and maybe 1 month before now, we kick off this year's preparation, and our tech team will prepare for the technology, and actually we get a lot of real experience from this November 11 from tech perspective. I can share with you not the success because we talk enough about success of this November 11. I share with the failure of November 11, which is in early days, and at that time we just began for 2-3 years, and I remember 2011, we encountered a big issue, which is we have too much traffic. And the result is that the stock for some of our merchants are oversold. Because you can imagine hundreds of thousands of orders per second. If real computing is not powerful, then you have, for example, you have 100 pieces in stock, but suddenly you get an order of 1,000. If not real computing. So the stock is oversold. Mm-hmm. This is a disaster for the merchants. So that's the beginning. We learned that, okay, this is important because on a marketplace model, and we create our payment, and we think money is very important in the e-commerce. Yes, money is important, right? But from merchant perspective, on top of money, stock is very important for business. So that's why we invest heavily to build our system to ensure the accuracy of the real-time stock. So that's basically that every year we climb up and to reach a new high. And this is also a very good real opportunity for us to practice the technology.
Well, we could keep going for an hour, but unfortunately we're at the end of our time. Please join me in thanking Daniel for coming to Sigma Team B. Thank you very much.